Hey, what is up everyone? Pastor JAMZ here back with another review and the latest album by Bad Bunny, Un Verano Sin Ti. Yes, I am finally reviewing this project. It took me a while to kind of get my thoughts together, given that it released in May, kind of like around the same time that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out by Kendrick Lamar, and two hefty albums that were really big and just took a while for me to kind of gather my thoughts together. That I'll get into more detail later as to why. But Bad Bunny, 28-year-old Puerto Rican artist, reggaeton artist. Not really in terms of my thoughts on his work. I think that he is kind of like a an artist that I kind of had to get used to over the years, especially when he first came out and started popping off. Especially back in 2017, around that time frame, I didn't really care for his music. There were like a few select songs here and there, a handful, if you will, that I really could say that I enjoyed. Um, but now we have Un Verano Sin Ti, and I was a little bit, I was kind of excited because Dakiti made my top 20 singles of 2020 back in, made the list. Anyways, so we have Un Verano Sin Ti, 23 tracks, an hour and 21 minutes, really bulky album, and let's jump right into it. One thing I will give credit, major credit to Bad Bunny and the project Un Verano Sin Ti, is his he finally catches a sense of identity into this in this album. I feel like with him, that's kind of what bothers me, especially when I hear his older projects or older work. I feel like he just lacks substance and identity when in his work, trying to like separate himself of other reggaeton artists. But finally in this project, I feel like he establishes that, and in such a way that is amazing, given how um, these ideas that are exploited are just amazing, and the chances that he kind of takes. Of course, this is more of like a summer album. The whole thing is very vibrant, beach style reggaeton, of course, and he does explore some ideas that really come fleshed out, especially keeping this idea of being at the beach. And with such a bulky album, I get it, you're supposed to kind of play this at the river or wherever you are outside, just at a gathering. You're supposed to play this album and leave it alone. Yet I do think that it kind of shoots itself in the foot a little bit towards the end of the tracks. Not necessarily bad tracks, like Me Fui de Vacaciones, en Agosto, and Caíta. I know that Caíta is more like the song that kind of popped off the whole thing, but I feel like those songs towards the end, you're not so much annoyed. It's just since this album is so bulky, they're kind of forgettable, honestly. They're not bad tracks. It's just my opinion that, when you're just listening from start to finish over and over again, or if you're just deciding to come back to this project, I'm pretty sure these tracks will be easily forgettable, in my opinion. The production on this thing is outstanding. Like I said, it's more like a beach style sound. You have some xylophones in here. You have these amazing, just really catchy reggaeton beats that don't feel like standard or stale at all. They feel really vibrant and kind of fresh, honestly, given that this type of genre is so exploited in such a way that anything can really sound pretty similar, but not really with him. He also incorporates like whistling. It's really amazing. Some of the little nuances here and there that he does production wise, it's really good. And then it's in terms of his style of like his vocals, really really out there, and I think that he keeps that energy going. Even though there are tracks on here like Aguacero and Andrea, they're a little bit more toned down, a little bit more slower, stuff like that. But it's still pretty good. Um, the only one, the only track I would say is kind of bad for me is Yo No Soy Celoso. Uh, yeah, it's pretty cool that it's like a tongue in cheek type of thing, but it's like a stereotype that that yeah, he's not crazy or jealous, but in reality he is. I think it's really interesting that he did kind of take a chance on that track, but it didn't really fall for me. I feel like it's a little bit too corny in my opinion. Um, but honestly, that's probably the only track on there that I would say is bad. Um, but then you have other tracks on here that are really jumpy and alive. Like as if you're at a party. I mean, Despues de la Playa, do I really gotta explain that track? Oh my god, it's probably like the best track on here. And just really moving and just catchy. You will keep replaying the song over and over again. The trumpets, all that stuff. It's amazing. The way that everything just moves together. Neverita is also pretty catchy. The way that everything just kind of flows together, track to track, except for the later tracks, like I mentioned before. Um, and then finally, I gotta talk about the features on this thing. Caught me completely by surprise. Otro, Atardecer, featuring the Marias. Oh my god, that was crazy. I didn't expect the Marias to collab with Bad Bunny. Amazing stuff. That her vocals, the chemistry together is just outstanding. The things that they did together. And then Rauw, Alejandro with Party, also another great track. You have Jhay Cortez as well, and just amazing features on here. For the most part, both male and female artists that did just an amazing job with him. I feel like this is my closing statements. I feel like this is a really fun album, hands down album of this for the summer. Of 2022, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna hear this everywhere in clubs and the beach and the rivers. Amazing stuff. You can't go wrong with this. I understand, yeah, you have to kind of play it from start to finish and just leave it alone. That's really the whole thing about the album. But for the most part, people shouldn't really have a problem taking in their... If you like something to move to, or if you're a Bad Bunny fan in general, I mean, you're not going to go wrong with this, I'm giving Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny an 8.5 out of 10. I think that Bad Bunny finally establishes his identity and really fleshes out a fun, fantastic summer album that is going to be cherished for years to come and played everywhere. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you all check the link in the description below to listen to the album if you haven't before already. Make sure you all subscribe and share with a friend. Peace and stay safe.